Hello, teacher Luis Alejandro Santana Martinez. This is Roberto Carlos Ibáñez Vázquez, and I am going to make the presentation of my action research proposal. The name of it is Implementing Hybrid Formative Assessment and Quizzes to Improve A1 Grammar Learning in CEA Students at UV. Introduction. This action research proposal has the objective to improve grammar learning implementing hybrid formative assessment through formative assessment activities in A1 CEA students at Universidad Veracruzana. Through observation in the classroom, the teacher-observer found motivating to improve grammar learning in his students. In addition to this proposal will provide a relationship between what the teacher-researcher observed and what experts say about this issue. The context. This action research work will take place in a public university in which participants take classes on Saturdays because they belong to the open system. This public university is located in Dos Rios. The students take classes on Saturdays from 7 to 9 a.m. The teacher uses the syllabus that Universidad Veracruzana provides as part of the major. This syllabus is used to teach English all kinds of students at UV. There are some students who take 5 classes a week and 1 hour of tutoring, but CEA students just take 2 hours a week and 4 classes of tutoring. Taking into account the number of hours, we can say that it's exactly the same. However, the situation is that most of them work and they cannot take those tutoring hours. That is the reason why they study on Saturdays. The participants are 21 young learners from 18 to 30 years old. They are A1 level according to the Common European Framework. Most of them took English in their high schools, but they struggle when they work with grammar structures included in the syllabus. Now, as part of the literature review, I will mention some important authors that contribute to this proposal. Burns in 2010, doing action research in English language teaching, a guide for practitioners. De Keyser in 2007, Introduction, situating the concept of practice. Frey and Fisher, 2011, the Formative Assessment Action Plan, practical steps to more successful teaching and learning. Staker and Horn in 2012, classifying K-12 blended learning. Or in 2012, a course in English language teaching. The same author, but in 1991, a course in English language teaching, practice and theory. Well, the problem. The teacher-researcher has observed that students struggle when they have to work with grammar and complete the grammar activities in the classroom and at home for homework. Although the teacher explains the rules in the classroom and students do the activities in the same place, they still have problems with grammar. When an assignment is given, they send their answers, but they still have some mistakes. Another problem is that the teacher has observed is that learners just have 2 hours of instruction. This is a limitation learners have. So what the teacher needs to do is to establish learning goals, check for understanding, provide feedback, and align future instruction with the students' performance. If students have this clear, they will know what to do. Now, the purpose of this research. 1. Design a formative assessment action plan to help learners to improve grammar and use quizzes to assess and tell them their success and needs. Now, the intervention. When feedback is used as part of a formative assessment system, it is a powerful way to improve learners' achievement. The system that is proposed has three components: feed up, feedback, and feed forward. Feed up makes sure that learners understand the goal of the assignment, task, or lesson, including how they will be assessed. Feedback gives learners information about their success and needs. Finally, feed forward guides students' learning based on performance data. In order to get this, the author of this proposal will use short quizzes, teach grammar, use grammar assessment, use videos, and use blended learning. Short quizzes. Short quizzes can be useful for promoting retention. However, they do not automatically mean that they are useful for promoting learning. They are some learners who memorize the structures just to pass because they retain information. Quizzes should be given as instruments of learning, not as instruments of obtaining a grade. Teaching grammar. Orr in 1991 states that there are two ways to teach a grammar. One is implicit grammar and the other one is explicit. Which one is the best? There is no answer to this question. Orr in 1991 thinks that it depends on the kind of students are at that moment of the instruction, because some of them have been taught by using explicit explanation of grammar features, explicit, and some students learn when examples of grammar are given through input when reading or listening examples of grammar features, but without giving an explanation of the rule, implicit teaching. Some others learn by having practice after the explanation, and this combination speeds the process of learning. Grammar assessment. Grammar assessment is done through written tests. Grammar test items ask learners to properly answer to prove they have understood the use of the grammar structure. Grammar assessment is recommended to be responded quickly and easy to assess and grade. Two common types of tests are usually used in tests. Tests contain close-ended items that require a predetermined answer and open-ended ones in which learners create their own sentences. Now, videos. Technology has become an important tool of education, and it is not only rich in information resources, but also can extend human capacity and expand the social environment of supporting learning. According to Huang and Spector and Yang in 2019. And finally, blended learning. We understand blended learning as a formal education program in which a student learns at least in part through online delivery of content and instruction with some element of a student control over time, place, path, or pace, at least in part at a supervised location away from home. Staker and Horn, 2011. Now, the research question and objective. Research question. To what extent does the use of quizzes and hybrid formative assessment activities impact grammar in A1 SEA students? And the objective is to assess the impact of quizzes and hybrid formative assessment in SEA students. Well, now I am going to talk about the methodology. Action research can be considered as a self-reflection process that involves exploring our own teaching context. So, this proposal will be a mixed research. It will have qualitative aspects and quantitative aspects. And according to Chemis and McTaggart in 1988, these cycles will be used. First plan, then act, then observe, then reflect, and then to start again. As it was mentioned before, this proposal will be a mixed research. The researcher will use a mixed research methodology. It will combine qualitative and quantitative methods of collecting data. Qualitative data collection tools, a journal, analysis of students' work, and interviews. The next part is the qualitative data collection tools, closed question surveys, analysis of assessment scores, and observation with tally or scores. And finally, the proposal will use this triangulation system in which observation, assessment, and inquiry will take place. It's necessary to remember that if we triangulate our work, will have more credibility and more validity. Observation, what I see. Assessment, what learners' products tell me. And inquiry, what learners tell me about their progress. Well, Teacher Santana, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.